I worked for many years fixing the old pipes that ran through the high-rise apartments in Great Bend, Kansas. One thing I've learned working on pipes for so long is that you hear things you don't often want to hear. There's something bigger than God himself living inside those walls, whispering through the pipes like a soft electric hum. I never see residents coming or going, never any talk about town, not even a hint of life, morning or night. What goes on inside those pipes? What powers infect those walls?
It's a little even trite to say now, but because we don't pay for the products that we use, advertisers pay for the products that we use. Advertisers are the customers. We're the thing being sold.
The classic saying is, if you're not paying for the product, then you are the product.
There's this sort of Marxist notion that all this inequality is generated as a consequence of capitalism, and that's actually technically false. You hear the egalitarian clarion call everywhere. Everything should be equal. Everything should be equally distributed. We should strive for equity. It's like, wrong. Especially if you're a conservative. Wrong.
The reason that capitalism is a good is not just because it's more efficient and creates better products. It's because it says that the stuff you create, you get to keep. The stuff that you create, you get to keep. And no one can be the master of your time or labor. No one gets to enslave you just because they have needs.
Actually, capitalism is cool. In fact, it's the coolest.
Positions in the government, and they're the ones who own the media, and they're the ones who have to be in a position to make the decisions. They have an overwhelmingly dominant role in the way life happens, what's done in the society. Within the economic system, by law and in principle, they dominate. The control of our resources and the need to satisfy their interests imposes very sharp constraints on the political system and the ideological system.
Of course, what we heard you just say is so disturbing. This idea that when you were at Google, you were using what you know about persuasion and technology to go deep into our brains to program us, or to put it another way, maybe manipulate us. And I kept thinking, to what? To what end?
The real issue here is that when you're not paying for the product, you are the product.
Well, if you want to understand the way any society works, ours or any other, the first place to look is who is in a position to make the decisions that determine the way the society functions. Societies differ, but in ours, the major decisions over what happens in the society, decisions over investment and production and distribution and so on, are in the hands of a relatively concentrated network of major corporations and conglomerates and investment firms and so on. They are also the ones who staff the major executive positions in the government, and they're the ones who own the media, and they're the ones who have to be in a position to make the decisions. They have an overwhelmingly dominant role in the way life happens, what's done in the society.
This is how it gets really bad. This is the start of something that gets really, really bad. if you are getting the guardrails off the truth, where it literally cannot catch up to the lies on the internet because of how the pipes work, how the system works, because of the incentives of the richest people in the world, then that's how you lose your democracy. This is how it gets really bad. This is the start of something that gets...
Things are as simple as they appear. Here you have a guy wearing his underwear, clearly a crazy guy.
He's whacked. I read his social media profile. The man is crazy, and everybody should have known that. So he's mentally ill.
That this suspect was suffering from mental illness and obviously has a connection to a radical nudist community.
Sources have told CBS News and other media DePape said, "Where is Nancy?" echoing the same language used by the January 6th Capitol Hill mob after the 2000